Hello, my name is Rebecca and I was introduced to ZRII in 2008. At that point, we only had the ZRII original Amalaki, which is a liquid nutritional that really works on balancing the system and on modifying the stress response. And I had some amazing results with it. I was introduced to it by my Hungarian physical therapist. I started drinking it. At that point, due to an injury that I had many years ago, I'm on chronic pain medication. And I was taking the ZRII, and the first thing I noticed was my nerves were calmer. And I started sleeping better, and which was very difficult for me because I'm always in pain. I have nerve pain, and I was able to reduce my pain medication 25%. And then one of the main things that happened is what I was always afraid of was that I was really poisoning myself from the inside, because due to the pain medication, my entire digestive system was very sluggish. So, and ZRII has beautifully, and now with all the other products that we have too, it has beautifully regulated that. And then what happened was that the doctor that I worked with, Dr. Leroy Perry, he actually started noticing that he said he told me later on, he said my face was kind of grayish and I had this like really bad complexion because I was poisoning myself from the inside. And he said, wow, and your skin got better, your hair got better, and there was more luster in your eyes. And he got intrigued, and usually he didn't want to try any products because he said, I'm getting so many products from all over the place, I don't want to try anything. But when he saw that and realized what it had done for me, it took about 6 weeks before it regulated my digestive system. And really and I had more energy too, because I usually needed to lay down in the afternoon and sometimes even take a nap because I would get this slump. And then with the ZRII, taking the ZRII, I would just breathe through the day with more endurance, more energy. And then I brought it to him and he said, okay, I'll try it. And I put him on it, and I literally had to go to him like every morning, every afternoon to give him a shot of the ZRII. And then he tried it. And he has in his gym, he works on, it's called a machine that reads your aerobic output. You literally can measure, it's a 4-minute workout, it's called the lean machine, and you measure it and it reads it. And his record had been out for years. He does it 3 times in the morning, and for years, every time he would not get over 89%. So I started bringing him the ZRII, and about 2 weeks later, he started increasing, and he went to 96, 98, and eventually his record became 108 aerobic output. And at that point, he said, I know how this works. This works on the mitochondria of your cell. And right after that, ZRII came out with their study that they proved that the mitochondria in your cell, it's your energy, it's your engine really. And it protects and enhances the function of the mitochondria, which gives you more endurance. So that really, since then, he's put lots of athletes and non-athletes alike onto the product. And you, with the ZRII liquid, you recognize it best if you exert yourself. If you do aerobic workout, then you can really tell the difference. Then now that we have our other products, we came out second with the Achieve, the NutriVeda Achieve, which is a wonderful meal replacement, which you can give to athletes and to people that want to modify their weight, that want to lose weight. It's amazing. It's a complete nutritious meal with protein, vitamins, minerals, and these Ayurvedic herbs, Gymnema, Google, not Google like the internet, but Google. It burns fat. It gets the hard to get rid of brown fat that clogs the channels of your body. In Ayurveda, which is 5,000 year old, it's the 5,000-year-old healing system of India. In Ayurveda, they say that it gets rid of ama, and ama stands for undigested food residue, which clogs the channels of your body. And then the next one they came out with was the Excel. And Excel, I started taking that about a year ago, and I started feeling like I was an arrow, like that. I was starting to get double done, and amazing, because I was focused and concentrated much more. There's an herb in Excel which is Brahmi. Excel is really formulated to it's a triple metabolic boost. It boosts your metabolism, improves digestion, and reduces stress. And the Brahmi helps to focus and concentration. So people are using this one either in front of a workout because they get a much better workout, or they're using it to literally incinerate fat and help burn faster. But it is, and for me, it's the natural answer to anything that's out there called Monster Drink or Red Bull or anything like that. If you've ever had any of that, that basically what you're doing is you're borrowing energy from the future. And you're paying back later because you're going to go up and you crash. With Excel, it puts you on an up curve in energy and it keeps you there. It's steady. You don't crash because there's no stimulants in there, there's no caffeine in there. By the way, all of the products are completely natural, which is one of the reasons that I started taking them, because I don't want to take something that has preservatives like sodium benzoate or anything else in it, or artificial sweetener. ZRII doesn't have any of that. Nothing artificial, nothing synthetic. And then now what we have a new product, and it's amazing. I'm right now on my second day of it. It's Purify, ZRII Purify, and it's a 1-week detox cleanse system. And I'm, like I say, on the second day of it, I can already feel lighter. I feel more clarity, more energy. And what it does, it helps to not only get the water-soluble toxins out of your system, but the fat-soluble toxins also. So it's really good, really for us that live in LA, that live in great metropolitan areas, and we're always surrounded by toxins, either through, the air that we breathe or the food that we take, the, preservatives and everything in some of the food that you do end up eating, or for ladies, hair color, makeup, all that has toxins, and you want to get rid of that. So that draws it out. You take capsules in the morning, draws it out of your cells, it puts it into your system, and then the fiber and the oil help take it and kind of like a big brush, flush it out or brush it out of your system through your digestive system. It's very gentle, so you can go to work, you can do interviews as I'm doing right now, and you can do anything you need to do. Just be nice to yourself, eat a sensible meal, or supplement with a Nutriveda Achieve for a complete nutritious meal, and do a 1-week detox. And it has, for people that want to lose weight, it has jump-started their weight loss and they have lost 8 pounds in a week. We have some people that have done that. So it's quite amazing. We're here with Dr. Raj and talking about the ZRII products, and he's given them to his patients mainly for weight loss, right?
That's right.
And what have you found?
For example, I had a friend who was also a patient, and he had about 70 pounds to lose. So we talked about the product, and he took a couple of those packs of Achieve, and in 1 week he lost about 14 pounds. But he's
Fantastic.
Also a very disciplined kind of guy. He's my karate instructor. Mm-hmm. So when he decided he's going to lose weight, he stuck to the plan and he lost 14 pounds in 1 week. Mm-hmm. And now he's still losing, and he's got about maybe another 20 or 30 to go, and he's going to be in awesome shape.
Is he on the challenge?
No. What is the challenge?
ZRII has a challenge which you can join. You can join and win. They're giving out prizes. They're using $250,000 to give out prizes. So you can get on the challenge, and it helps with an incentive for people. So all they have to do is they take their picture, they take measurements, and then they email it in and they start. And then it's 10 days, 30 days, and 90 days.
Oh.
So and then there's always a #1 winner, and they get something. It's all the way up to like a beautiful exotic vacation.
Oh, cool.
Or another grand prize that they had was that they take somebody and they fly them into LA. They have them stay at a beautiful hotel. They do a complete photo shoot makeover with them, buy them $1,000 worth of clothes, and it's quite extensive. They really put something out there for the people to have an incentive, and some people like that.
Okay.
And
well, I think I've seen it in my emails, but I have so many emails I don't look at everything. But I will start talking about that. Maybe we should have like a little brochure or something like that for that.
Yeah.
Do we have anything already available, or?
Yes, we do. Actually, we can use right over there. We can use that.
Did we talk about this book? thank you for creating this little book. So tell me a little bit about it.
So this, for example, this is the Z, it's actually called the Z Body Challenge now.
Okay.
And here, Win Exotic Vacation. This lady here, I mean,
That's a picture
you can,
before?
yeah, that's her picture before. I actually was on the ZRII's incentive trip in Puerto Rico, and I met her there, and this is what she looked like, and this is what she looks like now.
Wow.
I mean,
Amazing.
she lost 50 pounds. She did amazing. And that's what they did with her. They did the full, body makeover with photo shoot and clothes and everything. So
Excellent.
for the ladies, look at those shoes. They're like very hot.
Excellent.
So, and then in here, it just talks about the company, and it talks about the endorsement that we have. We have Dr. Deepak Chopra has never before, he's actually the main formulator of our products too, but he also has never before endorsed a third-party product.
Okay.
And this is what is so amazing, because he so much believes in ZRII and the purity and quality of these products. And
I've seen his old pictures and new pictures. I think it looks like he's lost some weight himself.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I think so. Because he was
Yeah.
looking a little overweight
Yeah.
and out of shape.
And now he actually said with our new product, the Purify, which is a 1-week cleanse
This one here?
that we have, yes.
Okay.
Dr.
Talk about
Deepak,
this one.
yeah.
What is this?
Just let me tell you, Doctor, it's a 1-week total cleanse, and it can really jumpstart your weight loss.
Okay.
What it does is it's capsules, it's AM and PM capsules,
Okay.
and then it's oil and fiber.
Okay.
So it's a real system, and
So how do
you
you
don't
start it?
you
This
don't
is
yeah,
one week, morning, evening?
exactly morning, evening.
Okay.
And you take 4 capsules in the morning. They draw the toxins out of your organs, cells, tissues, and then you have the oil, which helps with getting the fat soluble toxins as well.
Okay.
And you have the fiber, which you
What kind of oil is this? It says detox oil.
yeah, it's, if you look on the back, let me show you. It has sesame oil, flaxseed, olive, hemp seed, evening primrose, borage oil.
Okay, cool.
So this one helps, and then the fiber is kind of like, I explained that before, is like a brush. It collects all the toxins and moves them out through your digestive system.
Okay.
And I'm actually now doing it.
Yourself?
I'm on my 2nd day, yeah.
Okay.
And it's you might have they say start it on a weekend, so that you don't have. I started on Sunday, so that because the first couple days you might experience a little bit of
Spasms.
detox
Oh, okay.
symptoms, like I had a slight headache for 2 days, or you might get hot or sweat, or it comes because the toxin will come out.
Okay.
And
is that like a laxative too, or what is it?
It is no, it's not. That's what most people are afraid of. They're afraid of that they're gonna.
Pre-roll going, so just pick it right up from the beginning of this product right there. You were asking about
Is it a laxative?
the laxative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now this detox program, does it start off as a laxative when you take it? Do you have experience having to clean out your bowels? Is that part of this, or is it not really that?
It's part of it, but it's not. It's very gentle. It's not like you're gonna have diarrhea or anything like that.
Okay.
But basically, that's what the fiber comes in, and once through the capsules and all that, you draw the toxins out of your organs and tissues. They gotta go someplace. So then the fiber collects them, and kind of moves it out through your digestive system. The Purify, I believe it's good for everyone, because especially as we live in LA or surrounding areas, big metropolitan areas, you get a lot of environmental toxins. You get a lot of
Pollution.
and pollution. You get a lot of what people eat in food, preservatives,
Toxins
and all that.
there.
And especially women actually have 40% more toxins than men because of the hair coloring, makeup, and all that.
Sure.
So that's very good. But also, anybody on weight loss, because you have patients and you're interested in that, they can really jumpstart their weight loss with this program,
Okay.
because because toxins like to sit in fat tissue, and it'll help bring that out. And we've had people that lost 6, 7, 8 pounds in 1 week doing this.
Cool. Now let's talk about the Achieve. Initially I talked about how my patient lost 14 pounds with this.
Yeah.
What's your experience?
This is, I personally use it. I use it not to lose weight. I use it because if I have a hectic, crazy day, and I know I'm not going to have time to cook myself this elaborate meal with vegetables and grains and this really sensible meal, then I know I have one nutritious, complete meal like in the morning or for lunch. I'm using it, and but the experience that I've had many people that have lost lots of weight with it. So it's been very good, and
Very
it's also
effective.
been, yeah, it's very effective. It's also been very effective with people that have any kind of blood sugar imbalances, or like hypoglycemic or anything like that, because it helps balance blood sugar levels.
Cool. I believe there's a lot of products here that are all incorporated in here.
Yes.
It's all vegetarian and non-toxic.
And all natural again. It
Natural
has includes 22 vitamins, minerals. It has protein. It has a combination of whey protein isolates and pea protein isolates.
Okay.
And according to Dr. Yerima, he was actually saying that makes a very special lock and key amino acid that is really absorbable for the human body.
Okay.
And it has omega-3 and 6, and I just want to point out a few of these. The gugul is actually what they call it, the fat killer. This
Okay.
one really attacks the hard to get rid of brown fat that clogs the channels of the body. And the gymnema is a great one because it helps with anybody that has cravings, sugar cravings. The gymnema, if you take a leaf of this plant and you put it in your mouth, and then let's say you would take a spoon of white granulated sugar,
Okay.
it would taste like sand. It literally cuts out the sugar taste, the sweet taste.
Okay.
So thereby helps to curb cravings. The green tea boosts the metabolism, and the haritaki is one that helps detoxify also. Because again, as it it loosens and burns the fat and sets free toxins, you want to be able to flush them out of the body.
Okay.
And then the turmeric, of course, is highly anti-inflammatory. And
We
yeah,
use a lot of turmeric in Indian cooking.
Yeah.
I use that all the time when I cook.
that's probably why you're so healthy.
Wow. It's good to eat healthy. I think you feel a lot better.
Yeah.
I had to change my habits quite a bit being in India. I'm coming from India. We eat rice twice a day at least.
Mm.
And we used to use heapfuls of rice every meal. And I've realized that makes you really heavy, especially when you're not working out. All that excess calories just turns to fat. So
Right.
just eliminating rice and sugar from my diet has really helped me a lot. I feel a lot more healthy now than I was 5 years ago.
Yeah. Mm.
And what's this stuff?
And
Oh, this is the
that's
main ingredient.
amalaki. That is the main staple fruit of all our products.
Okay.
And it is.
You know, this
it's-
grows wild in India, by the way.
Yeah.
We used to grab these off the trees and eat it. And
That's where it's coming
very
from
sour.
in the products.
Yeah.
That's
We used to
it's
call them
gooseberry.
Gooseberry, right? Excellent. There's
They
two
actu-
varieties, by the way. One is round, and then the other one looks like a tiny little pumpkin, but green.
Mhm.
Has like little ridges on them.
Mm.
And
And the story with Deepak Chopra and the amalaki fruit, he used to 25 years as a paste.
oh,
But as you know, as the paste tastes like it, literally puckers your fish, and because it's like so horrible. So
We talked about that.
Yeah,
so these are some of the results you're talking about.
Yep.
Just before.
yeah.
Before
Mary,
and after.
Mary is a grandmother. She's in early 60s,
Okay.
and she's lost 72 pounds.
Wow.
And look at that. I mean, she didn't have plastic surgery or anything like that.
That's
know?
amazing. It's hard to believe that you can go from this to this
Yeah.
just by.
Well, the trick is to use full, complete nutrition, because most diets are, empty.
Balanced.
They're not balanced, and they also, what they do is they put stimulants in there.
Okay.
And then Jeff Wallen, he lost 25 pounds in 4 nights. He was one of the first people who actually tried to achieve.
Okay.
And as you can see, he had an athletic body obviously before, and then he got a little fluffy
All
there.
the fat cells just covered him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he told me he was in Puerto Rico as well, and he told me that he worked out maybe 30 minutes a day for 3 out of the 4.5 weeks. So that's not excessive. And if something like that actually inspires you to work out, then hey,
Why not?
great.
Here's another guy.
And Eric, he lost another person right there. He's amazing. He's one of the winners of the challenge, and he was on stage receiving his prize, and he was very humble. And he said now he was an ex-football player, hurt his back, and then just continued eating like an athlete. and got huge. And then what he did, when he lost all the weight, he said now he can get back on the floor again and play with his children, and
Wow.
actually walk up to his bed upstairs and didn't have to crash on the
If you
couch
just look at
downstairs.
the face, they don't
Yeah.
even look like the same person here.
That's exactly. He went to his neighbors and knocked on their door, and they're like, "Who are you? Go away!" And then there's Sabrina, and Sabrina is a good example. She lost 13 pounds in 7.5 weeks, but see how it shaped her,
Wow.
and that's what, because of the
Again,
protein
doesn't
in
even
there.
look like the same person.
And see how happy.
I have so many patients who look like this and would love to look like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, thank you so much for talking to us.
You're welcome.
I'm sure it's going to help our patients who want to learn more about this.
Yes, I definitely think so.
Great. So
And
I'm gonna-
also to combine, very good is to combine the Achieve with the Excel, because the Excel helps to burn. So
Okay.
it triply boosts your metabolism, but
That's
it has
this one.
no, that's this one, yeah.
Okay.
But it has there's no stimulants in there either, and it also has one herb. I love that one because it has one herb, it's called Brahmi, that helps with focus, concentration, and memory retention. They've just done studies on that, and that is amazing.
I gave a bunch of this stuff to my mom. I don't know if she's been using it or not, but she looks a little better. I don't know if it's from this or from a medication. Thank you so much for coming by today.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. And next I'm going to introduce a doctor friend of mine. His name is Dr. Perry.